We're here with Norman Reedus at San Diego Comic-Con, part of Air and Walking Dead. I'm really excited to hear more about your film Air. It looks like one of those small genre, just two people sci-fi movies, like a character piece almost, that feels like it has some crazy twist coming up.
It does have a crazy twist. First I got a call from Robert Kirkman, who's the producer, he and Dave Albert, who does Walking Dead, and he called me at the end of last season. I said, hey, I need to talk to you about something. And I was like, oh, God, I'm going to get bitten by a zombie. And here comes the call, right? He said, I have a script. I want you to read the script. And I read it, and it was so claustrophobic. I mean, a lot of times things on the page get modified at the end, and they're not quite as good as they were on the page. If you read something and it's full of joy, you hope it keeps the joy to the end, or whatever, But it was so claustrophobic, this script, and you're power reading through it, but you just want to stretch, and I just wanted them to keep that sort of energy in the film. And I started talking to Christian, the director, and that was their point as well. There was a independent film called Moon with Sam Rockwell, and they were referencing that, and I really liked that film Moon, and it was interesting. And yeah, it was a two-parter, so you never really took a break, But it was great. It was, and then I'm there with Jaimin, who's like super good looking, and I have capillaries bursting out of my face, and so they're painting me purple every day, and I'm looking over at him, and he's all good looking, and they're making him more good looking, and I thought that was BS, but other than that, the film was awesome. Yeah.
They're painting you purple. Help me if I get this wrong, just because the premise is you're in a restricted area because you're the future, and the air's all contaminated.
Yes.
So when you go out, it's difficult.
Yeah, and the place that we're at, the underground chamber that we're at, has airlock doors, and there's only a certain amount of air. And the thing is that we sleep in these chambers for up to 6 months, and we wake up and take care of the place. So that's one of the things is that we start losing our air right away, and there's no air there, there's no air in here, and it becomes sort of a storyline. I know you don't want me to tell you the twist, but it has to do with that.
And there's other people there too, but they're all asleep in these chambers.
It's
correct?
kind of the best of the best that to repopulate the earth when we get the call that it's okay to come back out. You know what I mean? So
it's very Lost-like.
It's very Lost-like. I haven't seen Lost, but I've heard that.
You've never seen Lost?
I've never seen Lost, no.
Oh my God, I see Lost. Especially, it's very referencing in that way with the countdown climber, but very unique in its own right as well.
Right.
I'm curious what they saw in you on set on Walking Dead that made Robert want to write this particular screenplay for you.
Somebody came up to me last night. I was doing one of these, and they're like, you always play really good guys that are really bad. Like you have an internal nice thing about you, but I think my face just looks like a mean face. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But there's a quality of that to that character in the film. So maybe that's that. Yeah.
That's a great description of Daryl as well, because when we met him, he was hardened, and he was, the number two to his brother, who was always overshadowing him. And now look at the character arc that you've taken. I mean, it's. When you walk into Hall H, the crowd goes completely nuts. They love Daryl. He's so likable. Where are we going to see him go in the new season?
There's so much conflict happening within those walls and outside of those walls, and people want what we have, and there's a lot of mistrust. The thing with Daryl is I don't think he liked the idea of suburbia anyway. He's kind of a wild animal, and to bring him in that situation, he just sort of is clawing at the walls trying to get out, and he's not trusting anybody. But then he sort of finds a reason to help out and become sort of the community. He's always that guy. Like I always describe him as like if you found like a coyote in an alley and you went to pet it, it would snap at you. But if you could just feed it and bring it home, it would follow you forever. He's kind of got that, but I don't know. This season's crazy. I mean, we're on episode 7 out of 16 right now, and I came to Comic-Con exhausted. I'm gonna leave here in memorize lines on the way out of here. I mean, we're fully in it right now. So.
Do you have a line circling in your head right now that you can't get out of your head?
Yeah, I don't really memorize lines like that. I do scenes. I'm thinking of playlists right now to play while I'm driving to work. You
Like
know
what?
what I mean?
Like what songs?
I have a lot of like Motorhead going through my head right now. I have this band called the Vines. There's a song called "F the World," which says we'll probably make that. Stuff like that. I get ready to go do stuff, but
You make a Daryl playlist for every day?
no, but I'll listen to a song. I mean, like the episode Still with Emily Kenny, that I had a Dinosaur Jr. song going on and on in my head the whole time. I stabbed my brother to Willie Nelson. It's just different reasons for different songs, but yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense, especially with your character. It seems like he is one of the only characters on the series who is becoming a better person while the world is becoming worse.
He's sort of found a sense of self-worth through these people, and he'll do anything to protect them. But he's very much, these are his 2 feet on the ground, and he's willing to fight for that, and he's not going to fight for that. I mean, he very much knows who he is. He just doesn't trust anyone else. So this group, he sort of found people to trust, and they rely on him, which I think is a big deal to him as well.
And how does that relate back to Air? Because you find this character has a circle of trust, where it feels like Air, it's 2 people, and there's some level of trust, but still lots of distrust hanging between you and your co-worker, colleague. What are your jobs in this?
Well, we have the same job, but he sort of views his job as a scientist, and I kind of view our jobs as janitors. You know what I mean? Just well-qualified janitors, and I feel like we're being duped, and he's constantly looking for a hope, and through the course of the film, there's a cat and mouse sort of psychological war going on between the two of us that turns into what I say is going to give it away, so I'm not going to say it because
Don't ruin
you asked me
it.
not to. So
At the end.
it's wow, how do I put that? It's what's worth fighting for. It's different. There's different levels of that, and certain levels of sacrifice and so forth. So yeah.
Who's the cat? Who's the mouse?
Well, I'm definitely the cat, but I mean it's funny. Like whatever I say is gonna give away the end. But can I just say what's?
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
I'm the cat asking to be the mouse, trying to make the mouse the cat. I'm trying to reverse roles here in a very dangerous way. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay,
I could follow that.
There was a scene with Jaimin speaking about how gorgeous Jaimin is and cool and everything else. He was on the floor and I'm kicking him. I'm like, give me the bottom of your foot. I'm just gonna like kick the out of your foot when I do this. And he's like, all right. And he puts his foot up. We do like maybe 2 takes, and I'm screaming at him, kicking him. I'm like, ow, ow, and I broke my toe on him. That's how muscular that dude is.
He's like taking a nap. You couldn't even feel it.
Yeah, I'm bouncing to the emergency room, and he's like, yeah.
I think another thing that's really interesting about Air is this place where you're living, even though it's in what is perceived to be the future, it's surrounded by really dated and ancient technology. Was that consistent throughout the whole set, and was that important?
It was super important, and it was super cool, and I liked that idea too, because you have high-tech equipment thrown together last minute with like duct tape. You know what I mean? Which tells a story too. So, you know what I mean? So it's like that sort of hi-fi, lo-fi, everything around us stuff, and the dialogue was so complicated, and I had no idea what I was talking about. I think God Christian could walk me through it. I like when sets tell a story. I mean, like on Walking Dead, like the prison. When you first see the prison, the line of cells, they had, you had blood, you had 1 blood splatter, 1 blood splatter, 2 blood splatters, a bunch of blood splatters all over each other. And I mean, things like that tell a story. Like they came in, this infection went down, they came in, they started executing prisoners. and then it turned into like a riot situation at the end. You know, like little things like that. I love stuff like that. And they never talk about it. It's just done. You know?
And it really aids probably to what you're doing when you're in a scene.
Yeah, I mean, it tells a story. I mean, the dude that makes our sets, his name's Grace Walker, coincidentally, but he did all like the early Mad Max stuff in Australia, and I mean, the stories they would tell me about those sets were just completely insane. But I like attention to detail. You know what I mean?
Last question: the Poncho love-hate relationship. It's very hot in Atlanta.
That was my idea.
It was your idea.
Yeah. And I pitched it in season 2, and they were like, "Come on, give me a break." And I'm like, "Well, what I asked for was like a horse blanket from Herschel's farm, and I was just gonna cut a hole in it and sleep in it." Cause like back when I was in junior high and stuff, I had like the leather jacket that was like my pillow and my blanket and my best friend, and and I sort of thought that, and then plus with the crossbow, it's this move. Whoosh, bam, is real cool, and I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan, and I'm like, let's do this for Clint, and I got to tell you, like, now there's ponchos all over the place, and Daryl ponchos are sold in little plastic bags, and action figures have ponchos, so it was a good idea, I think. Yeah.
You think, because now you have to go back in Atlanta right now and put it on.
Oh no, it's gone. The poncho's
gone.
we're not playing the
right.
poncho this season. We lost the poncho, I think, in season 4.
Did we lose it in Terminus? Did we lose it there?
Terminus.
Yeah, they took.
And my cool motorcycle. Yeah.
Are you ever gonna get those things back?
Well, the motorcycle got blown up by a tank, so
Right.
probably not.
Probably not that one.
Yeah.
But you get a new one. There's plenty laying around.
Terminus, yeah, Terminus I lost. Actually, the bike I lost at the prison, you're right. Terminus I lost the poncho. You're right.
You gotta get another one.
Yeah,
Just
it was
for the
cool.
fans.
Yeah, it was a good idea, I think.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you being here.
Thanks, yeah. If Lady Gaga can wear a meat suit, I can wear a poncho. You
Heck
know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and I stay here.
We did it again.
Damn it.